pain continues. Another red day for Bitcoin. Pulling back here. Are we destined to fall back to $60,000? Will there be more pain on the streets? Am I buying? Am I DCAing? Am I looking to enter new trades? I'm going to break down a lot in this video, so make sure you smash on the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. As always, if you want to trade with me and my community, you can do so. ejalscrypto.com/TG. It's the very first link in the description. Now, we're seeing a bunch of people getting wrecked in this market. A bunch of people who are overzealous, super excited, longing to the upside, chasing those green candles, are getting wrecked on a bit of a pullback here on Bitcoin. We're sitting here at 68,500, but as you can see, we are in a falling wedge pattern. We were in this rising wedge, we broke to the downside, we retested, bounced back again, got rejected again, and now we head to the downside. Whenever you break from this pattern, how do you find the price target? Well, you look to the left. You look to the left, you find support. This is the first level of support is here at the first pivot point, okay? So if you look at that first pivot point, you're looking at that 67,000. Now, we did wick below there, but we're managing to hold that level for now. The next major level of support is 64,600. That's this yellow line here, followed by the bottom of this wedge, which brings you into 61,500. And for me, that looks like where the next major support lies. So be prepared for a little bit more pain. Is this pullback something of concern, or is this something which we can just nip in the bud? I'm seeing a lot of people speculate what could be causing this. Now, the first thing for us to check here is to make sure we check the traditional markets. I know everybody's getting excited, oh, Bitcoin and the ETF inflows. We still got to understand that Bitcoin is still a risk-on asset, and it will act like that at times. When risk is on and people in a good mood to trade, they will look for alpha, which is outsized returns, in crypto as an asset class. Now, if you take a look at traditional markets, they're struggling today. The S&P fell on Friday with tech stocks under pressure as inflation concerns remain front and center ahead of the Fed Reserve's policy meeting next week. Remember, we get that FOMC meeting next week. Now, market participants aren't really expecting a rate cut next meeting, but they're worried that if inflation doesn't curb itself, we may even get a rate hike, which would be horrible and would really upset the markets. Now, if you take a look, you can see that the Dow Jones dipped 74 points. The Nasdaq fell 0.7%, Apple down, Microsoft down, Amazon down, Google's parent company Alphabet down. The only thing up was Nvidia, but it was only up by like 1%, right? So if you take a look at this, investors remain hyper vigilant after a slew of data from earlier in the week that are referring to the inflation data worried them. February's producer price index, a gauge of wholesaler inflation. So we've got to understand, what is this? I know this is a crypto video, but we've got to understand macroeconomics, right? That's what this channel is about. I'm here to tell you what actually matters, not just like, oh, I think the price is going to go to 250,000. No, I'm going to actually show you what actually it is. So producer price inflation is your wholesalers. Remember, retail prices can't come down until producer prices come down, right? If you go to your grocery shop and they say, yeah, but my cost has gone up, therefore I'm passing my cost to you. So they've got to see that the wholesale price is coming down, the producer price index, the PPI inflation, in order to then see the normal figures, the CPI, the PCE inflation start to come down as well. So if you take a look at this, the PPI, a gauge of wholesale inflation, advanced more than economists anticipated. The data has helped push the benchmark 10-year treasury roughly 22 basis points higher on the week. Now, again, this may be confusing for some people who don't really care about macroeconomics, but why would the US 10-year treasury go up? Remember, the US 10-year treasury acts like the dollar index. It shows you when risk is rotating on or when risk is rotating off. So if I jump on over to the dollar index, what do you notice here? It's having a couple of strong periods here. It's had 2 strong days. And those were the 2 days that Bitcoin struggled. Dollar index bounced and it bounced here again. Okay, so more people flow to the US dollar, flow to the US 10-year, US government bonds when they want to rotate risk off, right? Because the US 10-year government bond is considered the risk-free asset. When people don't want to take risk, they go to the US 10-year government bond and they collect whatever percentage coupon they're going to get from there. That's when they don't want to take risks. They don't want to go in crypto. They don't want to be in Tesla. They don't want to be in Amazon. They don't want to be in Netflix. They don't want to be in Nvidia. They want to go and take risk off. So whenever you see people referring to the US 10-year, it's because they're looking to see if risk is rotating off. And that is what we're seeing by the dollar index here, right? If I bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see on this daily chart that the dollar index has now managed to create a higher low. So why is that? Look at that. So that was the previous low. It's managed to create a higher low. So now it's going into a bit of a consolidation. And so the question is going to be on this dollar index, will it manage to post a higher high? And that's what we're going to want to avoid. What we don't want to see here by the dollar index, let's just get our brush pen here. We don't want it to start doing this and trending upwards, right? We don't want it to get a higher high past this peak here. We need to see this get rejected by the EMA ribbon and sent back to the downside. And that's going to mean risk is on, which will allow Bitcoin and obviously your NASDAQ and your tech stocks to remain strong as well. So when we then jump back into the Bitcoin chart, what do we see? First and foremost, on the daily chart, what do you see? We're actually okay. I shared in my update video yesterday, guys, don't panic. We may lose our 4-hourly EMA ribbon, which indeed we did yesterday after my video. You can see we've lost our 4-hourly EMA ribbon, but we do have some key levels of support. So if we hide me for a second here, let's take a look at some of the key levels of support that we're seeing in the chart. So we're breaking down from that wedge. We know there's horizontal support here at 64,700. Then we've got some support at the top of this red zone, which is a very important zone, which is at 61,600. And then of course you've got 60,000 flat. Now keep in mind, if we fall to some of these levels, there'll be a lot of liquidations. There'll be a lot of fear in the street. There'll be a lot of uncertainty. Remember, as I shared a stat a couple of days ago, that if somehow market makers can move the price down to 50,000 from as high as we were, 73, there'll be $30 billion of leverage wiped out of the market. And that money goes to the market makers, right? So you've got to understand that there are incentives here for the price to be volatile and get pushed to the downside. Now, if you're not chasing green candles, and I shared this message with our Telegram community this morning, if you're not chasing green candles, if you're not buying when the price is overextended, plus you're not buying with leverage, you have nothing to worry about in this market. If you're following the best practices and you're not taking out leverage and you're buying spot and you're buying on pullbacks when it's bad days like these, you're in a good place. Because pullbacks are healthy, and if you keep DCAing on pullbacks, statistics have shown historically that you end up in a very good, profitable position. The problem is people want to chase green candles. And not only do they want to chase green candles, which is buying at the very peak, but they want to do so with leverage. And whenever leverage is involved, you've got tight liquidation stop losses, and therefore you can get wrecked. And this market is very nervy for those types of people. But of course, you're always going to get greedy people, right? Nobody wants a boring 5x. Nobody wants a boring 10x. We've spoken about this before. Everybody's looking for the next 1000x gem. And you guys are not going to learn until you get wrecked enough times. So when you do get wrecked enough times, then you're going to be like me and you're going to learn that, look, patient, steady approach is still pretty fast compared to other asset classes. So that's what we're seeing here. We've lost our 4-hourly EMA ribbon. But then we want to zoom out to the daily EMA ribbon. And what you quickly realize on this daily EMA ribbon is that actually we're just getting a move down into our EMA ribbon, which is perfectly fine, right? This is a healthy thing. From this point here on the 26th of Feb, we had a very extended move here to the upside. We've not touched our EMA ribbon since, right? If you remember here, we consolidated into our EMA ribbon. Now we're getting a bit of a crash into our EMA ribbon, which is okay. Again, we've only just wicked. We've not even come in fully. So if you look at the top of the EMA ribbon, that sits at 64,500. 60,000 is here where my cursor is right now. I think that's perfectly fine. If Bitcoin really wanted to do that, it's not the end of the world, right? If Bitcoin wanted to come into the EMA ribbon here, boom, test, and then move to the upside, that's a gray area to be buying on the pullback. So if we come down to that 60,000 level, I would love to be nibbling and setting limit orders in this area. That would be a nice cheeky buy for me. And by the way, when I keep talking about chasing green candles, this is chasing green candles. This is buying from strength. And if you can get in the habit of doing this instead of this, you're going to be in a good place, right? So when you hear me say chasing green candles, you know what I'm referring to now. It's those people that want to buy this when everything's exciting, fear and greed index is in the green, everybody's saying Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, and they end up buying themselves some Bitcoin right at the peak of that little run, all the way at highs right there of that candle. Let me just see exactly what that candle is. And you can see that candle's at 74,000, right? So you don't want to be buying at those peaks. You want to be patient. You want to be methodical. And so when we look at that as a pullback, it's not too scary, right? Even if Bitcoin wanted to come down into that 60,000, it's not an issue. And in fact, you don't lose your EMA ribbon. You don't lose the daily EMA ribbon until you get a daily candle close below 56,300. So in other words, what I'm saying here, from my perspective, of course, do your own research, is Bitcoin's daily candle can fall as low as that level, 56,000. And I'm still bullish on the daily trend, which is insane, to be fair. It just goes to show how far Bitcoin has run up. Because I know that if Bitcoin did fall to 56,000, this market is going to be hugely panicked. But with that knowledge, I can go, hang on. This is not too bad then. So if I know that if Bitcoin falls to 56,000, I still think we're in a nice strong uptrend holding our EMA ribbon. And yet I can foresee that if that did happen, this market would go ape crap. It'll be super upset, super fearful. I mean, if we go into fear and greed index now, you can see that this market is still pretty buoyant, right? Sitting at 83 when I last checked. So 83 here on the fear and greed index, this market is buoyant. Whereas if we fell to 56, now straight away I can say, okay, this market would be panicked. And so with that knowledge, I can go, hang on, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to get my limit order set. If we touch 60,000 to 58, great entry points for me. And here's the other thing. If I then zoom up to the weekly chart, then things look even more crazy because this price action is still so super crazy right now. And to think that this is the price action we're getting prior to a Bitcoin halving, right, that we've already eclipsed all-time highs, just goes to show the strength of the market. Now, if you're following me in Telegram, not only are you seeing what trades I'm taking, link is in the description, the very first one, but I also post updates, right? I shared some updates on Ethereum, I've shared updates on the Bitcoin ETF inflows. The inflows have been insane in March. We're only 2 weeks into March. The inflows are starting to pick up huge volume, and that is why we're starting to see a lot of demand here for Bitcoin. And so when we look at this weekly chart, you can pull back all the way here into the EMA ribbon. Like I said, that weekly EMA ribbon does not start until 47, and the weekly EMA ribbon finishes at 38. 38 to 47 is that EMA ribbon there. It just goes to show that if Bitcoin wanted to pull back all the way into that 47 level, you're just coming back to retest your EMA ribbon. You're still in an upwards trend. And I think that's what the market is failing to understand right now. Bitcoin moves so irrationally to the upside, which is perfectly fine. That's what Bitcoin can do. It's done it historically. It can do it again. It doesn't suddenly mean that everything is over and we're going to collapse. Does that mean we can still get a pullback? Yes, of course we can get a pullback. Bitcoin can pull back here. I mean, if you look at this all the way here, if it wanted to go kind of from where we're at right now, all the way to that EMA ribbon at the top, 30% pullback. Can you imagine the blood on the streets if Bitcoin fell 30% here? I mean, I would love it. For me, it would be like another Eid and a Christmas and whatever else on top. Like, I would just be buying that dip. Do you know what I mean? Like, at that level, it would be so exciting to be able to buy, knowing that the fundamentals of Bitcoin are going crazy. The supply side dynamics are going to cut in half at the Bitcoin halving. The demand side is picking up and ramping up from the ETF. If we saw a 30%, which I don't think we will, right? I would be licking my lips and biting the dip. The problem is most people wouldn't. And I'm trying to help people, the new crypto people who have entered this market through this excitement. I'm trying to navigate you through this. But you've got to heed the advice. You've got to understand that when the market is in this kind of mood, you can't chase these green candles. Because if you're buying at 73 and then Bitcoin wants to take a 30% dump down to 47, you're going to be in a whole world of bother. Particularly if you weren't DCAing like I was in the bear market at 15,500. You're going to feel pain. And so it's important that we rationalize this, we understand, we buy from pullbacks. If we do see the market dump, we're entering, right? And that's the key. If you're in Bitcoin and you believe in Bitcoin, then set yourself a DCA strategy. Set yourself a DCA strategy for all your favorite altcoins. To just blindly buy when everybody's talking on it. On the peak week, when everybody's talking about crypto, everybody's talking about a meme coin, and then to sit on your hands as it dumps 20%, you're going to get yourself wrecked. Right? So if you want to be in this for the long run and treat it like an adult, then treat it like an adult. If you want to be a kid and gamble, be a kid and gamble, but then don't come crying to the parents. Okay? Hopefully you found this useful. If you appreciate type of updates live and direct as and when it happens, then please don't forget to smash the like. If you want to actively trade with us, guys, I delivered over 330% spot returns. No cap. You can see all my trades in Telegram. ijazcrypto.com/TD. I want to see as many of you guys as possible in there learning how to trade and actually profiting from this market. Not just sitting here and kind of watching the market blow up. No, when this market is moving, I'm actively trading and profiting from this, and I'll teach you guys how to in our Telegram community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.